Art is my life. I'm just trying to risk everything for it, man, just to get this inspiration out to the world. It's inspiring me. It's helping me grow. I'm just having fun with it, man. I need the world to see that.
What I found is that so many creatives, they don't find a place to be quiet and be still.
To understand Drye, to understand this, everybody goes through a stage where it's like, I'm me now. That you would build everything you did.
Everything I do, I just feel like it's art. I internalize everything, and somehow I put it, on a canvas or in an outfit, and it's on display somewhere in some type of visual, some video that I'm doing, and that's just how I approach life. Choosing to display it, the uncertainties, the hard times, the bad times, the thought-provoking stuff. It's all art. It's all visuals.
Hey, you really turned your name into a brand.
Been a hell of a year since last year. The whole incident where I thought about dying. Had a whole year to reflect, had a whole year to grow, or I had a whole year to give up. I chose to keep going. I chose to learn from it. I chose to run towards God and not run away from Him anymore. Since then, I was able to do the art show Sage Ultra, which was amazing in Dayton, Ohio. Shout out to Dave Scott for the invitation. I appreciate the opportunity to, just be able to tell my story to the public, and recorded that on YouTube as well. So it is on my YouTube page, the Drye in Color. And since then, I had the momentum to just bounce back. I had the momentum to keep fighting for it. I chose to create curriculum around it. I chose to talk to my students about it and help them, overcome their anxieties, overcome their depression, and overcome their insecurities. I'm glad I did so. It brought a lot more responsibility. I knew that I would have to, just knowing God, I knew I would have to talk about it in a public forum. And I didn't want to, because it was embarrassing to have to tell people I thought about suicide. Me thinking about suicide it just sounds crazy even saying it. And it's still kind of embarrassing. But at the same time, I had to tell people it's normal. You know what I mean? We are human. We face trials and tribulations, and we only have so much strength. So I'm not trying to tell anybody to handle it in their own strength. I rely on the Holy Spirit, and that's what I've been doing. But it's still hard, and I'm still faced with it. When challenges, come about, I have to face them head on. I have two options: I can give up, give in, and lose my life, take my life, or I can fight through it and persist to be able to help somebody and continue to live my purpose. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to commit suicide or complete suicide, but I definitely be wanting to give up sometimes. Because it's just frustrating not being on my own time. I'm on God's time with this, and I really don't like it all the time. Uh, I love God, but it's hard following God. It's hard letting go of what you want to submit to the will of God. Like, this is a hard process. This is probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. Like I said, I don't like it all the time. So I'm taking it day by day. At the moment, I think my mental health is great. As I was approaching the year mark, I call it my anniversary. But as I was approaching December 23, I was nervous. I was triggered. I didn't know how I was going to act, honestly. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew it was approaching. And everything that I couldn't do last year, as far as, go to the gym, have events, or just have the strength and the momentum to, go out and be around people, be in community, rely on God and run towards God. I didn't have the strength to do any of that last year. I didn't have the resources. I didn't know what to do. And this year I was able to do everything I needed to. On the day of, I was very, very tired. I had this overwhelming, exhaustion. And I'm like, I've been doing great with the gym. I've been taking the steps to allow myself to go through the emotions, to just have a way to cope through it in a healthy way. And I chose to get up that day. I went to the gym, bust 600 calories on the treadmill, got a good lift in, had coffee. I can't remember if I painted that day or not, but it was a good day. I was on winter break again, and it was just a total opposite of last year. I'm very, very grateful for God's strength, because I definitely couldn't do it on my own. I wanted to stay in the bed that day, but I didn't want to be depressed. I didn't want to soak in that misery or just be scared to face the world because of my encounter with suicide. And I'm proud of myself. So I'm trying to just move forward with it. Tell the story as much as I can. I had to tell my kids to St. Monica's, and that was very, very, I don't know, I knew I had to, but I didn't want to. And I had to look them in the face and let them know we are going to have bad days. I'd be a liar if I told you we wouldn't. I'd be a liar if I said, anxiety won't creep up, or depression won't creep up, or the urge to take your own life. And I had to tell them that I thought about that. I was so stressed out with myself. I was so stressed out with God that I didn't want to be here anymore. And in that second, I didn't think I had purpose anymore. When I call my life, like when I'm living, I'm moving around in my purpose. I call it being in a flow. So, the Holy Spirit allows me to be in this flow. Everything is flowing. I'm going to class. The classes are going cool. I'm able to just do anything that I need to do. You know what I mean? I'm able to do anything that I need to do. And when I'm not in that flow, it's very, very frustrating, because at that point, things aren't working out. And it's very hard for me to continue to want to be persistent or confident or, show up every day for things that I have to do when things aren't going right or going how I want them to do or on my own time. And I feel like nothing is on my own time. I feel like feel like I'm always on somebody's time, and I hate it. I hate being on other people's time. Sometimes I hate being on God's time. I want stuff done my way, when I want it. I want to go to the store, get the shoes. I don't want to hear that you don't have my size. We can ship them to you. I don't want them in 3 days. I want them right now. So that's hard. But I was able to have the courage to tell my kids in St. Monica's story. I was able to do it through an art lesson. And I guided them through that with instrumental worship music by William Augusta. After I did it, I felt better. When I do get to tell it, I feel better because I think people see like, hey, he is confident, or we do respect him, or he do look cool, or whatever the case may be, or however they view me. But when I tell them that, it's like, oh, he's human, and it's normal. Not normal, like it's good to have the urge to want to take your own life, but you're not alone. That's basically what I'm saying. It's normal in the sense of this is a frequent thought in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I'm still here. I'm glad I was able to call on God in the last second. God took it from there. I'm very grateful for the Holy Spirit. I'm very grateful for His guidance and His direction, His strength, His grace, His mercy. Life is crazy, man. Life is very crazy. And to be sitting in front of this painting right here, Drye's Revenge, created by myself and Dave Scott, it's a testament. Because I'm looking at the painting, Life is Deeper Than the Surface, and this was the whole response to my suicide situation. So to go from that to this, and they're sitting across from each other, and I'm looking so brilliant, I'm looking distinguished, I'm looking artistic, I'm looking strong, I'm looking like I'm ready to carry out God's will. I'm looking at my next steps. I'm looking forward. Happy I was able to crawl from the depths. You know what I'm saying? To be able to make it here, and I'm still going. So I feel like these are accomplishment tears, but nonetheless tears. This is a painful experience. I don't regret too much in life. Just, the things that I regret is opportunities that I chose not to take for whatever reason. Everything happens for a reason. I just can't wait to get to where I'm going, man. I'm just tired of dealing with stuff on this level. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with stuff on this level my whole life, helping everybody my whole life, trying to be the best I can be my whole life. And I feel like I haven't got anywhere, and it's frustrating to do this at a high level. And I make this look so easy. I make it look easy, like having shows here, having opportunities, and for it to seem not to be respected, but a way for people to, manipulate or take my championship moment. When it's time for me to be champion, and it's like the finish line gets pulled further down. It's like, nah, you didn't win yet. Tired, man. I'm very tired of that. To be able to overcome this stuff, and then people treat you like, you gatekeeping or holding opportunities, or you the reason people aren't where they should be in life. And it's like, I'm not responsible for anybody. I don't want to be responsible for anybody no more. Everybody responsible for their own happiness. Everybody responsible for their own purpose. I'm only responsible for what God has called me to govern. God has called me to be a part of. And none of this stuff is what I wanted. I didn't want none of this. I didn't want to be a teaching artist. I don't want to. Well, I want it now. I'm grateful for it now. But in the beginning, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to blow up on my own. Like, I didn't struggle my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't been poor my whole life. When is it gonna be my time to, you know what I'm saying, cash out, turn up, go around the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, when is it gonna be my turn to do that? And like, I'm constantly having to put my desires and my dreams aside for the betterment of other people who don't even appreciate what I've done, what I'm doing, and what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is a lonely road. It's even being a part of teams. Like, everybody has like, in a way, like, ulterior motives. Everybody got their own motives. Even in a team effort, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be about the team, building up the community, building up the youth. And it's like, everybody got their own motives inside of that. And if you're not trying to be a part of that, then they, create ways to slow you down. I'm like, I know when you was here, God, everybody didn't like you. You was here trying to say to people, and I wasn't even thought of at the time, Jesus was on earth. And everybody didn't like his mission. Everybody didn't respect his mission. So I'm not expecting everybody to like what it is that I have to do. It's like, when are you gonna handle them, God? I can't take revenge and take matters into my own hands. Like, when are you gonna help? When are you gonna step in to silence these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, when am I gonna get advocated for?